Hi guys, welcome to Kaylee's Knitting. So this video is going to be about the WIPS that I'm currently working on. So let's go ahead and get into it. So my first one will be this waffle blanket that I'm currently working on for my my couch outside of what I had already made, which is right here. Which is all made out of single crochets. I already have that done. With this blanket, of course, as you can tell, it's made out of the waffle stitch for the ones that know. And everything, I'm currently working on that. That's just set aside for right now. Because of course with some of the stuff that I said in my last video that I am currently working on right now. And then I also have this blanket for my daughter. I am most likely gonna have this for her car, so with the row that I'm currently on, I'm most likely gonna, I will most likely leave it at that because it's just big enough to at least drape over her legs a little bit to cover up her legs, and as well as kind of put over her arms because she's been getting cold, especially with the door open when I'm trying to get her buckled in and situated and everything and all that. And I do pre-start my car before before I go out there. I will go out there and start the car when it's freezing cold, so it's warm for when me and my daughter go out there. I'll do that when I'm getting myself ready, and as well as her. And then my last WIP that I'm currently working on is this blanket. It is all one color, so that's that. I most likely either make this for my bed, or I will end up selling it or giving it to somebody. So I will either do one of the two, and I will take it from there when I finish it. It's pretty long, longer than this blanket and my waffle blanket, because those two are just, like, of course, long enough for the legs, and of course drape enough over it where I can tuck it underneath my legs. And of course, if my daughter's wanting to sleep with it, lay with it as well on the couch, is big enough for her. So there's that. And then I am, of course, wanting to do, I will be starting my own little WIP bucket, because this is, of course, starting to get a little bit too small for the things that I want. I had gotten a little bigger bucket for at least like the bigger projects like these that I can just sit here and put it in. I do have another one, another WIP that's in that is in my closet, which I will go ahead and go get, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back. The other little WIP that I have going on is this. Of course, as you can tell, I haven't really gotten far into it like I have with my other three WIPs. And as you can tell, I like doing a lot of blankets, which sometimes I like doing because it calms me, it's calming. That's the whole reason why I got into it, because of that reason. As I'm like literally sitting here frogging half my project. It's all knotted up because of how it was thrown in there. How I had ended up throwing it in there, because I just threw it in there for some reason. This is what I was talking about. It's big enough for me to just, of course, fold depending on how big it is, just fold it up and put it in there with the respective yarn that I'm doing it with. And the thing is just remembering what size hook that I'm using. One of them, I want to say it's the one with the waffle stitch that I am making that one with, I want to say a 5.5, which is, yeah, 5.5, because as you can tell, it's recommended off on the loops and threads. So I'm doing that, and then I think I'm doing a 5mm for this one, as well as the red one as well. So there's that. So it's just remembering what gauge that I'm using, and probably it will probably also help if I make all my blankets with one size size hook, so that I don't have to run into this problem. So all I have to do is just like, oh yeah, mindlessly just pick up that hook and just start crocheting when I am wanting to. So my goal is so today's the 30th, by at least the end of February, I would like to at least finish one of these, which will most likely be the one for my daughter, because I only have like a couple more rows to do on her blanket. The next one will probably be the red one, and then, or the claret, because that's the color, claret. Let's just say I was buying a lot of yarn that was unnecessary because I thought it was the right color, but ended up not being the right color. So I have a lot more colors that don't match this. It's red heart, so of course, yeah, which of course I ended up getting from Walmart. And I, of course, made the mistake of going to Michael's because I thought they would have it, but apparently they didn't at the time. I don't know if that's changed, but I got like little smaller ones from Walmart while I was waiting for more, because I had ordered the color that I needed off of Yarn Inspirations, as well as more colors for my daughter's blanket, because of course I ran out of the colors that I needed for that blanket. So of course nowhere else had those colors that I needed for it. So I kind of had to go off of what the colors that I had, because none of the colors that was at Michael's or Walmart had those two colors, which, let's just say, I didn't remember what the colors were. I had lost this part on it, which everybody knows that the name of the colors on there, so all I have to do is just go look for the color, the name of the color. And let's just say I thought this was burgundy, so of course I started out with burgundy. I'm like, no, that ain't right. Then of course I went back, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the closest one. Nope. And then I'm finding the name tag laying somewhere in my closet, and for my yarn, and it said claret. I'm like, huh, fun. Now let me look on Yarn Inspirations, because apparently nobody has it. But I ended up finding some at Walmart because I've been going to Michael's. But those are my WIPs, and of course that is also my goal. Some of my goals that I would like to do, at least try to at least finish these 4 blankets by the end of the year. At least 3 of them by the end of February, and the last one at least by the end of March, beginning of April. So there's that, because I know the ice blue one, the ombre colored one, I will probably take longer, because of course it's about the same size as this colored blanket. So which I'll also keep for my bed, because it's about that long too. So there's that. I would so hopefully I will get these done outside of, sorry, my cat is pushing my tripod, but hey, Garfield. Hi, Garfield. It's my beautiful little boy. Little baby. Little babies. Little babies. That is, of course, my first child, because, come here. Come here. Yeah. Here's my first child. Here's my baby. I had him for about 3-4 years now, because of course I was working at a vet clinic at the time, and one of my co-workers' boyfriends at the time. They're married now and have their first child. Her boyfriend at the time had found him like wandering around his place, and of course he was able to lure him in with some food and everything, and of course he was like so friendly and everything, and he still is now. He's a cuddle bug. Of course when they brought him in, I'm pretty sure he was a stray too, because he was intact at the time. I have since long neutered him, but they brought him in. We of course checked for a microchip. There was none. Before he even brought him in, he of course checked with the neighbors to see if they were missing a cat or nobody that was missing a cat. And of course nobody said anything. And of course he was, at the time, now he's a little chunky, my little chunky man. Of course he checked with the neighbors. They said no, no, da 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 da, X, Y, and Z, and then he of course he ended up bringing him to our the clinic, and we checked him for a microchip. Maybe he had a microchip. No, he didn't have a microchip. So nobody else wanted to take him. My coworker, that the boyfriend of the boyfriend that brought him in, like said that like they had too many animals, they couldn't take him in. My boss at the time didn't, of course, has dogs, show dogs, so she couldn't take him in. The other vet that was in there didn't want to take him, and my other coworkers didn't want to take him because of course they already have animals themselves. And of course I was the only one that didn't quite have an animal, and of course I was living with my grandparents at the time. And I had of course managed to ask my grandmother, like, hey, can I bring this cat in home? And she ended up sitting here saying I needed to go talk to my grandfather. Of course I pulled some strings on my grandfather. I of course bet my eyeballs, and of course sent him a picture, like, please. He's like, sure, your responsibility, duh. And of course I have had him since then, and let's just say he's grown on me. I will sit here and throw hands with anybody that tries to take this cat away from me, because he's my first child. So of course I named him Garfield because, of course he's orange. So I'm like, oh hey, Garfield. How about Garfield? So I told my boyfriend, my now husband, that I have a cat now. So he of course stayed in the back until we could test him to make sure he didn't have anything, to make sure he didn't have anything, and of course get some food in him and everything. So I've had him since then. Of course he had something going on with his eyes, so I had some medicine to do that, and of course there was such stuff going on with his ears, so I had some stuff for his ears too, which he still I have to clean his ears too. So, and recently, of course, at his last vet appointment, the vet's like, he needs to go on a diet. So, of course, he doesn't like the diet, so he's just like, please feed me. Like, he'll do it creepily. Literally, he'll just sit there and just feed me. So that's my WIPS, and of course the little story about my wonderful cat that I have. My cat that I'm so happy that I have. I guarantee he is happy that I have him. But yeah, so that's of course the story of how I got my cat and my WIPS. So I will see you guys in the next video. I will probably have another video up sometime over the weekend. If not, it'll probably be later next week. It will probably be probably either a half double crochet or the double crochet, which I think is of course this stitch that goes with this. So I'll figure that out. And of course I have to refresh myself on what the half double crochet is myself to do so. So So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. And then I will see you guys later. Bye.